affairs and anxieties, milestones and mistakes, and successes that made India proud. Stories of heart-wrenching setbacks and how I survived the roller coaster journey of my making, breaking, and remaking as a man. Stories I Must Tell is an emotional experience. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy Stories I Must Tell, the emotional journey of an actor. In my heartfelt autobiography, I bare my soul with emotional honesty, with stories about affairs and anxieties, milestones and mistakes, and successes that made India proud. Stories of heart-wrenching setbacks and how I survived the roller coaster journey of my making, breaking, and remaking as a man. Stories I Must Tell is an emotional experience. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy Stories I Must Tell, the emotional journey of an actor. In my heartfelt autobiography, I bare my soul with emotional honesty.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Catholic Club event. Our author this evening needs no introduction. However, if I must describe him, 3 words would suffice: baritone and good looks. He is an acclaimed star, not just in India, but internationally as well. I am certain our audience are all ears and eyes, if I must add. We are very excited to have you with us this evening. And indeed, we have a zillion questions for you. We wish for you to take us through your life's journey and unfold the story behind your mesmerizing memoir, Stories I Must Tell, the emotional life of an actor. Welcome, Kabir, to the Catholic Club book event.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be here. I'm really happy to be speaking to the Catholic Club because I know you're all book lovers. I know you all care about books. You keep them, you treasure them, you discuss them. So, delighted to be here.
I would now like my dear friend Shanti to introduce the author. Over to
Thank you. Kabir Bedi, an international star and a man, like all men, with strengths and frailties.
Muted.
Sorry, guys. That was, I was on mute, so I'll start all over again. Yeah. So Kabir Bedi, an international star and a man like all men with strengths and frailties. As Kabir bears his soul, the stories come tumbling out. That first magical encounter with the Beatles as a student in Delhi, the sudden move to Bombay, away from home, friends, and college, his exciting years in advertising, his extremely successful career abroad, and his many painful setbacks. His relationships that changed the course of his life, of the scars they left, and the trauma of 3 divorces, and how he finally found fulfillment, and why his beliefs have changed. These are stories set in Bollywood and Europe, the joys of blazing new trails abroad and the dangers of them. He also tells the fascinating love story of his Indian father, a philosopher in Europe, and his British-born mother, the world's highest-ranked Buddhist nun, and most poignant of all, the battle to save his schizophrenic son. Stories I Must Tell is the unusually candid and compelling memoir of a man who holds nothing back in love or in storytelling. It is the story of a middle-class boy from Delhi whose career now spans the globe. Equally, it is the tale of how he survived the roller coaster journey of the making, unmaking, and remaking of him as a person. So welcome, Kabir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction and setting the stage for this discussion. Thank you for that.
Now we move on to Naomi.
Good evening, everybody. Let me introduce the book now. As John Dryden says, happy the man and happy he alone, he who can call today his own, he who secure within can say, tomorrow thy worst, for I have lived today. Today's book, story I must tell, is of such a man. The book portrays the eventful journey of a middle-class Delhi boy of Sikh Brit heritage. At every step, he redefined the time voyage of discovery. The book is written with honesty and openness that reaffirms the old saying, truth is stranger than fiction. Over to you, Vinita, to introduce our moderators today.
Thank you, Naomi. Well, we're having 3 moderators today, and I start by introducing Reena. Don't let her demure appearance deceive you. She's a bookworm, well organized with great PR skills, thanks to which we have an event like this today. Reena Pereira is a human resources and communication professional. She has held seminars, leadership positions in multinationals like Wipro and Standard Chartered Bank, and played an active role in diversity and inclusion. She's the former PTA secretary of St. Joseph's Boys High School, Bangalore, and currently contributes to the Women's Commission under the Archdiocese of Bangalore with key issues that uplift the girl child and empower women. Being a member of Catholic Club, Reena has been an active contributor to literature, the Eyebrows Group, and the recently held Literature Festival. The next person I introduce is Shanti. Shanti, a powerhouse of ideas and creativity, a fabulous orator. Shanti can anchor any event, pique your interest, and get you to the edge of your seat, wanting to hear more. Shanti's career and personal journey have taken her from bustling Mumbai to Kuwait and then to Bangalore. She's currently Director Asia Pacific for Pixelogic Media, a Burbank-based post-production media company dealing with subtitling and dubbing of Hollywood movies and serials. On a personal front, she has a mini legal department at home with husband, son, and daughter as lawyers. Her escape from all the legal talk is to lunch with the fun eyebrows ladies and indulge in all the other activities of the Catholic class. Sameera, diligent and resourceful. Get to know her and you wonder if she has more than 24 hours a day. Well, she doesn't. She's fueled by passion and unwaveringly determined to make things possible. Sameera Fernandes is the director of EcoSoul Global and is a professional strategy, marketing, and communication professional with over 2 decades of international experience with companies such as Sun Microsystems, Nokia Jet Airways, Al Ghurair, and St. Francis College. She's a certified change management practitioner UK and also recipient of the Nirbhaya Award. Recently, she was elected in the managing committee of the Bangalore Chamber of Industries and Commerce. She herself is the author of 2 books released by the Deputy Chief Minister earlier this year. Presently, she is the member in charge of the Faith, Ladies and Eyebrows Book Club of Catholic Club. Over to you, Reena.
Thank you, Vinita. I think that was a great set of introduction, and to all those who spoke earlier as well, Shanti, Naomi, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm being muted by the host, so I'd just like to continue. Thank you. So first of all, Kabir Bedi, congratulations on this book being a bestseller and deservingly so. I did bring it on release, and very understandably, the chase that ensued got in touch with Parveen ever since. And I absolutely know what you mean by her thanking her for her support, because I did see it. So please convey that to her as well.
Certainly, certainly. She was an indispensable part in the creation of this book. I would not have been able to do it without her.
Yes, and we did tell you, and you spoke about Catholic Club being a haven for literature lovers. You do join us today in this noted list of authors that have come to Catholic Club, but it's not fully done, Kabir, till you visit our campus and meet our fans meet your fans in person.
I look forward to that greatly. I'm sure something or the other will bring me to Bangalore soon enough, and we'll all meet.
True. So being a collector of autobiographies, right from Gandhi and even to the current set of autobiographies, yours was certainly a very different one. It was not chronological. It was not linear, not sequential. It took me on a completely emotional roller coaster ride. And
right.
That's what makes it very, very different.
That was, in a sense, the intention, because as you can see from the subtitle of my book, The Emotional Life of an Actor, I decided to look at things through an emotional prism rather than just, I went here, I met this person, I did that, this happened, that followed, and then this drama took place. It wasn't that sort of thing at all. It's seen through the prism of the emotional journey of a person. And that's why I think it becomes so interesting to read, because you really, one of the questions that great filmmakers always ask is, why should the audience be interested in your protagonist? And if you put a star in the role, people are interested because you put the star. But what if in the same role you did not put somebody who was a star?
Yeah.
So if the audience feels for you, then they're with you. And if I tell it in emotional terms, they will feel my feelings and naturally feel for me. So that was, in a sense, the decision I made to tell it in those terms. So you can be part of my journey, be in the scenes that I describe, sense what I went through, feel the joy, the agony, the ecstasy of it all. And that was the purpose and the reason why I wrote the book in this particular way.
So yes, thanks for that start. And let's just start with the way we know you best and then continue. So as an actor, the first Indian actor to break across continents, it's not like some YouTube video went viral. It was a lot of effort in those days, and it could not be better put in your book. Kabir, starting with India and then becoming a star in Italy and all that frenzy with Sandokan. But coming back to Hollywood and nobody even recognizing you and starting all over again. Tell our audiences about it.
Well, it was an incredibly surreal situation, because here I was already known in India. I was a rising star in India. And then events happened, which I described in my book. I won't get into that here, that took me to Italy and put me in an Italian series that became the most successful series ever, broke every television record, made me an instant star all over Europe. And then, again, for reasons I talk about in my book, I go to Hollywood. And Hollywood doesn't know what happened in Europe. They don't care. It's a very insular town. They don't even care about any other town in America. Maybe New York a little, but they're a completely insular society. So you have to literally start from the ground up in Hollywood, going to auditions, competing against other actors, and in a situation where Hollywood wasn't writing roles for South Asian actors. That was the harder part. So I had to diversify. I had to say, okay, think of me. I told my agent, I will do any role that plays the foreigner, because Americans, to Hollywood in those days, every foreigner was a foreigner. Therefore, I said, okay. So I became Prince Omar, Moroccan prince, the bold and beautiful. I became a foreign person with Michael Caine in Ashanti. It was only in the Bond film that I actually was cast correctly as a Punjabi, as an Indian. And being the first Indian in a Bond film was also a special thrill. But it wasn't easy breaking through in Hollywood because they didn't care what happened abroad. I talked about it. I got PR agents, etc. Didn't even get me a mention, an odd mention in the press, some Bachelor of the Month in Cosmo magazine, a few other little things. Nobody cared. So it was a huge battle in Hollywood, but it also gave me a lot of good things in return.
Experiences, yeah. So let's, the best part of your book, and nobody would get that without buying your book, is your experience as a little boy, told through the eyes of your parents in chapter 4, which is Revolution to Religion. I could read it again and again. I've narrated it to my kids, bits and pieces. but your parents fought the struggle for independence. Even your mother being a Britisher, one of the first marriages, the way you've documented the proposal, the use of letters. And what is so special, Kabir, is that you have documented your struggle and their struggle through your eyes. And after you, I don't think we will ever have another person. We are born in free India. And I don't think we'll ever have that experience again. So take us through it, in short.
I was very blessed to have such remarkable parents. And they would be remarkable people even if they were not my parents, because they just were such idealists who met and married in Oxford, came back to India,